With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Vaccinated or not, the Centers for Disease Control now recommends that Americans in areas with elevated coronavirus infection rates wear a mask indoors. The new guidance applies to about 60% of U.S. counties. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says the change, a result of new science on the Delta variant.
Information on the Delta variant from several states and other countries indicates that in rare occasions, some vaccinated people infected with the Delta variant after vaccination may be contagious and spread the virus to others.
The coronavirus continues spreading in Tokyo. Another 3,177 cases reported. That's a record high and exceeds 3,000 for the first time since the start of the Olympics.
These latest COVID figures are bad news for the Japanese government, which is desperate to maintain a sense of calm during the Olympics. The new infection record also suggests Tokyo's state of emergency is not really working.
That's a BBC's Rupert Wingfield-Hayes in Tokyo. At the Games, the U.S. women's swim team is pocketing a lot of medals at the Olympic pool. Halfway through the 9-day competition, they have claimed 2 golds among 11 total medals. Also at SRNnews.com, 2 people dead, 7 injured following a leak at a chemical plant in LaPorte, Texas. Harris County Fire Marshal Lori Christensen.
We do know that the impact was contained here to the plant. Harris County Pollution Control has been out doing monitoring outside the plant. We also have been doing monitoring inside the plant, and there are no impacts to outside or inside the plant.
And she tells KTRK an investigation is now underway. Wall Street Dow futures down 9 points. NASDAQ futures 44 points higher. This is SRN News.
Hi, my name is Bob, and I'm a real nice guy, and I'd like to live in your house.
Excuse me, but do I know you?
As ridiculous as this sounds, this is what some people expect from God.
No, but that's okay. You see, I do a lot of nice things, like I give money to the poor, and just yesterday, I mowed my neighbor's lawn. You just ask anybody, they'll tell you I'm a real nice guy.
Some people believe that just by being good, God will let them into his home.
You can't live here just because you're nice.
What do you mean I can't live here? You let that little boy live here. Has he ever given to the poor or mowed a neighbor's lawn? I don't think so.
Well, of course he lives here. He's my child.
Oh, I see. And that makes him more special than me?
That's it. I'm calling the police.
You wouldn't expect to be allowed into someone's home if you were a stranger. Do you expect to get into heaven if you've never met its owner? Join God's family, get to know Jesus, and be welcomed home. Another message from Lifeline Productions, the comic strip of radio, at lifelinepro.com.
Christian thought leader Michael Jr. has demonstrated his acting ability in films, including War Room, and has taken his comedic talents to late-night TV. In his new book titled Funny How Life Works, he offers perspective on how his faith molded his career.
Comedy, as the Bible says, laughter is good like a medicine. God said to me, take it to the sick. So we go to homeless shelters and prisons, abuse children's facilities. I've been able to do all of the late-night television shows, The Tonight Show. But I also want to be able to do what I feel like God is actually saying to do. We actually created a nonprofit called Funny for the Forgotten that allows us to go to homeless shelters and prisons and abused children's facilities and do exactly that.
Michael Jr.'s book, Funny How Life Works, collection of stories to help readers discover God's purpose in their lives. It can be found on Christianity.com and other leading booksellers. This is SRN News.
Someone recently joked that anyone with normal blood pressure these days must not be paying attention to the world. We're bombarded with bad news on every side, and there's no relief in sight. Yet there is a way to cope with these high-pressure times. Don't be anxious, the Bible says. Tell God what you need and thank Him for what He has done. Then you'll experience God's peace. To find out how Jesus Christ can give you this peace, call 888-NEED-HIM or go to www.chataboutjesus.com.
Russian authorities have restricted access to the website of imprisoned opposition leader Alexei Navalny.
The politician's team says dozens of sites run by his close allies also were blocked. The actions came amid mounting government pressure on dissenting voices in the run-up to Russia's parliamentary election in September. The vote is widely seen as part of President Vladimir Putin's effort to cement his rule. The state's communication watchdog says access to dozens of websites linked to Navalny was restricted at the behest of the Prosecutor General's office. Navalny was arrested in January upon returning from Germany after recovering from a nerve agent poisoning he blames on the Kremlin. Keith Peters reporting.
Republican Jake Ellzey has won a special election for a U.S. House seat in Texas. The election to fill the Dallas area congressional seat was held by the late Ron Wright. Yet on Wall Street, Dow futures down 17. More details at srnnews.com.